On this show, we speak our minds and open yours. This is
Bongari Drama.
It's time to buckle up.
Now, this is
Bongari Drama.
It's the headlines.
IEC to brief media progress with getting addresses for voters' roll, and Israeli police detain dozens in horror clown craze. A very good afternoon. I am Rose Ratacha. The Electoral Commission of South Africa, IEC, is on Wednesday expected to brief the media on the progress made and new developments in its drive to obtain addresses for the registered voters' roll. In a new advertising campaign, IEC CEO Sai Mamabolo tells South Africans that when they vote where they live, and the Commission needs to know where that is. He encourages people to go to elections.org.za to check, confirm, and update their addresses, even if they are informal. The voters' roll currently contains over 20 million names, according to the Commission. Earlier this year, it is said more than 30% of those registered did not have an address on the roll. South Africans have been urged to update their registration details when they have changed their addresses or when there has been a change in their identity number. Israeli police said on Monday they were on the lookout for teenagers in clown masks after fear the craze would cause violent reactions from those frightened, with dozens already detained. Police operations are continuing in different areas to protect public places and prevent further incidents, said police spokesperson Mickey Rosenfeld. He said that about 12 youngsters, including two 14-year-olds, were arrested over the past few days. Rosenfeld said that they sought only to frighten people, not to harm them. There haven't been any attacks. It's just been people dressed up walking around with fake axes, fake knives, etc., he said. Police, however, have warned that such pranks could go horribly wrong in a country where people are constantly on edge for fear of militant attacks, where many carry firearms. Your sports bulletin is coming up at 2:30. Temperatures are 20 degrees in Johannesburg, 29 in Lagos, and 22 degrees in Washington, D.C. Next up is the Dramatic Talk with Bongani Drama.
You keep on turning it up. You keep on turning it up. You keep on turning it up. You open my heart. You keep on turning it up. You keep on turning it up. You open my heart. You keep on turning it up. You open my heart and you switched on my love, and now you keep
Her name is Melo Liseja, and this one is titled "You Keep on Turning It Up," and we're going towards the festive season, so we need to turn it up as much as we can. It already feels like the festive season for me. I don't know why, but it feels like that by all means. 5 after 2 Central African Time on brandliveradio.co.za. The name is Bongani Drama, and this is the Dramatic Talk. Thank you so much for streaming in 2 to 3 p.m. We're going to be chilling and having so much fun as well, conversating and having a talk by all means. Coming up on the Convo Corner, we're asking you about forgetting people's names. Do you forget people's names? 10 minutes into a conversation and you've already missed someone's name. It happens to me a lot, so I want to find out if there's anyone out there else, that's having the same problem, because I cannot be the only person that's facing that. On Twitter at Brand Live Radio, on Facebook brandliveradio.co.za, Bongani_drama, hashtag the Convo Corner. Now coming through, Dramatainment is also coming through, where we're going to be looking at stunning celebrity news that are coming through, including Cindy Dlatu taking a hiatus from long-time role on a soapy titled Mobango. Reese Witherspoon's daughter, Ava, to become a debutantee. Or dependent there. And on Fashion Fed as well, we'll look at introducing China's new luxury website. And lots more coming up on Fashion Fed is the Vintage Zionist announces partnership with Afro Punk. So it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. I know a lot of people are going to be attending that event happening quite in December. And it's going to be a jump. 6 after 2 Central African Time on Brand Live. It is the Dramatic Talk, folks. Thank you so much for streaming in one more time for the base. Now, there has been a story, Rose, of some people in Potchefstroom, right? So there was a funeral September 10th, and so the thing is now that they went to the mortuary and they got the wrong body, and they buried the wrong body.
Oh, wow.
It was supposed to be a woman. They went on to go bury a man. So what happened was there's another family that came through to receive a body, but because they were scared to open and to see what was really, if it's really their corpse, they decided not to look into that, and they decided to take another corpse that wasn't theirs, and ended up with the woman. And now the family had to bury a man that they don't even know about.
Well, this coffin craze has actually been going on, because I heard a similar story as well, and I saw pictures on social media where people actually bury corpses, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as they're done burying those corpses, there's like a certain way that they dig out the same corpse in order to...
They dig it out?
Yes, they dig it out to retain the coffin and resell it to other people.
What?
Yeah. So
And without the family knowing?
Without the family knowing, of course.
What a thing.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I saw another video, talking about corpses and talking about, coffins. A video in Nigeria where the family or the person that passed on, didn't pay the morgue, or didn't pay whatever, burial that was. And they came to the funeral and they took him out of the coffin.
Wow.
And they were carrying him up here. But you can imagine what that does to the family and what that does to the friends and relatives, of the deceased, on, the emotions that they go through because of what just happened. But I mean, they then had to bring back the body so that the burial can go on. But I mean, that is inhumane for me.
Yeah, it's also disrespectful to the dead.
That's very true.
So yeah, wow.
It's quite a thing. Alrighty, it's 8 after 2 Central African Time on brandliveradio.co.za. If you just streamed in on Twitter, we're Brand Live Radio. On Facebook, it's www.brandlive.co.za. Our Skype number, if you want to interact with us, is 011-083-8606 as well. Find us there, and we'd like to interact with you. Straight to it, it's time for the Convo Corner.
Askulumeni in the Convo Corner.
Check this out.
It's time for the Convo Corner.
It is absolutely time for the Convo Corner, and today we're talking forgetting people's names. Do you ever in your life, go about being introduced to people around a table or whatever the case may be, and you forget their name? It happens to me a lot. A lot of my friends know that, and my best friends know that it's such a thing for me, and I miss it. I miss people's names. You would introduce me now, and the minute I get to the third person, I've already forgotten the first one. It's such a thing. I don't know. But to me, it becomes that, And I don't know whether it happens to anyone else but me.
I don't know. I'm not trying to make myself perfect, but I
Yeah.
remember people's names.
You do.
I do.
That's stunning.
It's because I recall them in my head. I'll be like, oh, okay, this is A, B, C, D. And then I'll be like, okay, cool.
And then you
That's
go for it.
And then I go for it, yes. And the next time I see you, even if it's my first encounter with you,
Yeah.
the next time I see you somewhere else, I'll be like, hey, I met you there. This is you. Yeah, you know.
See, that's the thing with me is I remember faces and I don't remember names. You know, I'll remember a face and I'll try and remember also where we sort of met, and then I'll try and you know get in touch with who you are, where we met, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's quite a thing, and I know there's probably a lot of people going through what I'm going through, you know. And we want to find out from you. Hashtag the Convo Corner at Bongani_drama at Bren Live Radio on Twitter, brenlive.co.za, as well on Facebook. Now, here's the thing: you are not going through dementia. We know that dementia obviously is, sort of I don't know if I should call it a mental disorder.
it's a
Not even a
mental
mental
problem.
disorder, but a mental problem
Yeah.
where you forget stuff. But most of us have experienced being introduced to someone only to forget their name within seconds, right? Now, but why is it often easy to remember a person's face, but so difficult to remember what they are called? That is my problem, and hopefully there's someone else out there that has it. Now, Michelle Moffat and Greg Brown from Toronto-based ASAP Science explained that the so-called next in-line effect can affect your ability to remember names. Instead of watching and listening to the other person, the brain starts focusing on its own routine. So with me, it's the same thing. When I get introduced to people around the table, but the minute I say hi to you and you tell me your name, I'm already thinking about who you really are. Oh, you're looking stunning. I love what you're wearing, or whatever the case may be. So I then forget your name because then I'm not focused on your name, but more focused on your persona than anything else, right? So it's quite a thing. Now, the brain starts focusing on its own routine, what they'll say and how they say it. So I become distracted by all means, right? Now, there's a video that is called Why Do You Forget Their Name? Was produced by Michelle Moffat and Greg Brown from YouTube channel ASAP Science. Now, the pair explained our brains are handwritten to recognize facial details, right? And scans have previously found that specific brain cells fire in response to seeing a face. So with me, it's the same thing. I just feel like they're talking about me. Now, the University of Toronto, for example, found that when looking for faces in a crowd, the frontal cortex sends signals to the posterior visual cortex to enhance that the person was looking at. That's what it is.
Yeah, so our perception is actually much stronger than our cognitive.
Absolutely.
It's similar to the Freudian slip, the slip of the tongue, when you want to
Yeah.
say something, but your brain is actually thinking about
Thinking
saying
something else.
and then you have a slip of the tongue.
It happens all the
So,
time.
yeah.
Happens on radio quite some time for
I
me.
agree.
Now, 4 ways in which the names of people are different from other kinds of words. Maybe this is why we forget people's names. Names are arbitrary. Now, ordinary words consistently refer to the same kind of anything. Now, if I tell you I have an apple in my backpack, you have a pretty good idea that what the object looks like, what an apple looks like, right? But if I tell you I have a friend named Brad, so it's a problem because you don't know whether Brad is black or Brad is Indian or whatever the case may be. Now, names don't have synonyms. That's number 2. We had an experience of a word seeming to be dangling on the tip of our tongue. We know there's a specific word we want to use, but we just can't retrieve it. And from memory, you know, when someone says to you, what's his name again? The guy that you met yesterday? And you go, but it's here. It's on the tip of my
it's
tongue,
right
but I can't say
there.
it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what happens as well. Names contain multiple words as well. And in many cultures, it's customary for a person to have both given name and a family name, and sometimes additional names as well. If you're trying to remember the name of the actor that starred in 2 different movies featured airplanes crashing into water, just saying, Tom isn't going to cut it. You need the full name, Tom Hanks, if that's the case, right? So that's what you need.
That's why we even call, like with what do you call them? Soapies.
Yeah.
When Garabo moved from Generation, we
Yeah.
still call her Garabo.
Absolutely, because she's
We
been
don't
there for
call her
quite
the
some
queen.
time. Absolutely. We don't call her, what's her name on the other side?
We don't call her by a real name
We
even.
do not even, right? Now, also, names are low-frequency words. Among ordinary words, the tip of the tongue experience is more common with low-frequency words like disseminate than with the high-frequency word of spread. Even when the components of the name are common, such as Tom or Hanks or Brad or Pitt, they are combinations. Tom Hanks or Brad Pitt still occur more or less frequently. So that's something else. If names don't go on for frequently, it becomes such a thing, right?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
And I think we do have someone on the line. Ayanda, how are you doing?
Hi, Bong.
Hey, how are you, Ayanda?
Good, and you?
I'm awesome, thank you. Thank you so much for calling through. We are really just talking about people forgetting, other people's names. And I understand that because I thought I was the only one in the entire world that forget people's names. But I'm glad there's someone like you that is also, experiencing something similar. Do you experience that?
Firstly, guys, good show, great show, wonderful show. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Thank you.
I forget names all the time. It's the worst thing ever.
Yes.
And I think it kills in terms of communication, because you're looking at someone who just said, "Hey, Ayanda, da 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 da," and you can't say, "Hey, Bongani, yes, that and that and that." So I don't know what it is, but I do think it's a disease of some sort.
I also thought it was because, a lot of people are saying it's dementia, right? But I don't think it is. I just think we have a problem. We are probably thinking about something else in our brains or thinking about their personality, because you're an actor, Ayanda, and you're probably looking at whatever the case may be that you're looking at, you're probably doing character analysis at the point and you're not listening to someone's name. But what I want to find, Ayanda, from you is then, when do you find out who their name is again?
You know what I do? I always ask, I don't know, the next person.
Yes.
But I always have to find someone I can trust. It's
Yes.
Like, what's his name? And you know what's the worst that happens?
Yeah.
Is when you have to introduce two people.
Yes.
Right? And it happens all the time when I'm with my wife, Felicia, right?
Shucks,
And
yes.
I'm like, hey, this is my wife, Felicia, and I'm like, so now I even have a strategy now. Now I have a strategy. I'm like, Felicia, if I don't introduce you, please do the honors.
Do the honors. That's a good. So that's a tag team. It's a tag team. If the other one forgets, the other one will remind the other one. That is fantastic. And thank you so much for calling through. And I hope that you and I are not going through a mental disorder. I'm hoping that we're actually fine. We are normal people, right?
We're just too creative. Like you said, our minds are just too busy. They're working.
That's very true. And thank you so much. Have an amazing Wednesday further. And thank you so much for listening through.
Thank you so much, guys. Great show. Keep it up.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. That was Ayanda Sitebe mentioning that in actual fact that, he does go through a similar problem like myself, Maybe it's because he's too creative. He doesn't know that the case may be, but could be anything really. Now, these are 7 normal memory problems. These are normal, right? So that's why I'm saying myself and Ayanda are probably as normal as any other person in the world is. There's trend science, a tendency to forget facts or events over time. This happens to me quite sometime. I think I might have dementia here. Absent-mindedness. This type of forgetting occurs when you pay close enough attention. Blocking. Someone asks you a question and the answer is right on the tip of the tongue. You know that you know it, but you just can't think of it. So we also have sort of a brain block, if I might call it. And misattribution. Misattribution occurs when you remember something accurately in part, but misattribute some detail. So you would say, in actual fact, I walked from Bramfontein to UJ to 27 boxes. Or you would say, I walked from Bram straight to 27 boxes, forgetting that you actually did go to UJ. You know what I mean? And suggestibility. Suggestibility is the vulnerability of the memory to the power of suggestion. Information that you learn about the occurrences after the fact becomes incorporated into your memory of the incident. Even though you did not experience these details, although little is known about exactly how suggestibility works in the brain, the suggestion fools your mind into thinking it's real memory. So it's sort of lying, because you might be saying things that actually are not true. It's like when you say, no, but I was told by Koketso.
Yeah.
And actually it wasn't. It was Rose.
Yeah, they actually say that it is much easier to remember a lie than it is to remember the truth.
To remember the truth. That's absolutely very true. Now, bias. Even the sharpest memory isn't flawless. Snapshots of reality. In your memory, your perceptions are filtered by your personal biases, experience, beliefs, prior knowledge, and even your mood at the moment. And persistence as well. Most people worry about forgetting things, but in some cases, people are tormented by memories they wish they could forget, but they can't. So it's like, people suffering from depression, they're particularly prone to having persistent, because their memory is disturbed. So are people with post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD can result from many different forms of traumatic exposure. For example, sexual abuse or wartime experience, flashbacks, which are persistent, intrusive memories of the traumatic event, and are core features of PTSD as well. So the minute you think about your rape case, the minute you think about what happened that night when you were involved in a car crash, that is persistent. So the memory keeps unfolding and coming back and back again.
Yeah, your memory is like what do you call it? Like a hard drive.
Yeah.
Because everything is just stored there. So
True.
it always, when you don't want it to come back, it will come back. It's like the iCloud. When you don't want that information to come back, it will come back to you. So it's just generally cognitive processes. So you are not sick.
You are not sick.
Drama. You're not sick.
Thank you for letting me know. Alrighty, folks, it's 20 after 2. I want to find out from you what you think. The Convo Corner, do you forget people's names? First encounter, and how do you deal with it as well? Hashtag the Convo Corner at Bongani_drama at Brand Live Radio and brandliveradio.co.za as well. On the other side of this, we do Dramatainment. Stick around.
brandlive.co.za.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
Oh,
Kumba the DJ, and this one is titled Joyride on the Dramatic Talk with myself, Bongani Drama. Thank you so much for streaming in 1426 right here on BrandLiveRadio.co. Today, straight to it is time for Dramatainment.
Extra, read all about it.
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
It's the Dramatainment.
It is absolutely time for Dramatainment. The first story coming through is Cindy Dlatu takes a hiatus from long-time role. Now, the actress's boss, Duma Kandlovu, mentioned the exiting of Tandaza, played by long-time actress Cindy Dlatu. He mentioned how he met the young star and how she got to be on the popular soap SABC2 drama Mobango. The news of her departure come after the drama celebrated its 20 years anniversary. Now, the actress is mentioned in a statement that she decided to, take the hiatus to grow as an artist, venture out to explore new opportunities. I think this is good. This is fantastic. She's been playing Tandaza from when I was 3 years old, and I think it's time for her to really, fly. There's opportunities. There's some Zanzi magic. There's amazing things happening. I think she'll be stuck as Tandaza for days.
To really discover your other avenues as an artist.
Very true. That's very true. As an artist, Duma Kandlovu wishes the actress all the best in her hard work. You will still see Tandaza on your screens until March next year as Cindy finishes off shooting end of this month. Now, the show's associate producer mentioned that it might not be the last time we see Tandaza and that her character will not be recast. So, no recast, no doopsie thing happening.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah, it can't be happening, right? Now, Reese Witherspoon's daughter, Ava, to become a debutante.
Debutante.
A debutante. I don't know why I'm saying debutante. Because it looks very
Hey, you want to be bougie like the debutante.
Right? So this is debutante.
Yes.
Reese Witherspoon's 18-year-old daughter, Ava Philippi, is gearing up to make her first public appearance in a fashionable society. Vanity Fair confirms Ava will make her debut at the Le Ballet de Debutante at the Peninsula Paris Hotel at the 25th of November. She'll be one of the 6 American and 20 debutantes in total. You're right. And the debutante ball was first launched in 1992 by Ophélie Renaud. Typical honors young women from all over the world who come from high places. And each debutante traditionally wears a designer gown and is assigned an escort. Now, Ava will be dressed by Giambattista Valli, haute couture, and will be escorted by Maharaja Pand Manba Singh in Jaipur. Now, celebrity daughters including Sophia Rose Stallone and Taluha and Scott Willis, Autumn Whitaker and Kira Kennedy have all debuted in previous years. What a thing. What do you think, Rose? I know you're not a debutante person.
Yeah, I am not a debutante. I'm not for the debutante because there's like a great contrast between the West and African countries when it comes to debutantes. Why do you have to throw a ball for you to be socially accepted as a woman? Whereas in Africa, you have to undergo female genital mutilation for you to be socially accepted as a young woman. So,
so it's quite a thing, right?
I
just think that let everyone be socially accepted and interested in anything that they want to be interested in.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, we understand that you're trying to Skype us live. Unfortunately, you can't Skype live. You can contact us on Skype and on our Skype line, that is 011-083-8606. So we're not live on Skype, but you can call in, right? Call in and not request to be live on 011-083-8606. On the other side of this, we do the sports headlines or sports bulletins rather, and we chill and chat as well with someone who is an international best-selling author. So you need to stick around for that. Let us know what you think about debutante on Dramatainment. We want to find out from you by all means as well. On the other side of this, folks, we do the sports headlines like I mentioned, and we chill and chat with Busisiwe Mahoko. Stick around.
Time to talk about sports.
Don't touch that dial.
It's time for the sports news.
Kickstarting your sports news with soccer. Kune keen to keep working after begging PSL award. A very good afternoon. I am Rose Ratacha. Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper Itumeleng Kune is keen to continue working hard after his excellent form earned him the league's first Player of the Month award this season. The Premier Soccer League PSL on Tuesday gave Kune recognition for his superb performances for Amakosi so far this season by naming him as the Player of the Month for the period of August and September. The PSL judging panel felt that Kune produced an impressive display and kept his team together during the time. And in your tennis news, Sharapova triumphs in Tianjin Opener. Maria Sharapova made an impressive start to the Tianjin Open on Wednesday, beating Romania's Irina Camelia Begu in straight sets. Seeded ninth, Begu loomed as a tricky first-round opponent for Sharapova, but the former world number one from Russia swept to a 6-4, 6-2 victory. Currently ranked 86 after returning from a 15-month doping ban, Sharapova granted a wild board in Tianjin, played unseeded Nada Linead of Poland next. And in your moto sports, Ferrari season not lost insists Marchionne. Ferrari president Sergio Marchionne has refused to give up the title fight following another disastrous Grand Prix for the Scuderia. Sebastian Vettel's second DNF in 3 races means he trails Lewis Hamilton by 59 points with just 4 races left off the season from the 2017 season. Ferrari are also 145 points adrift of Mercedes in the World Constructors' Championships, but Marchionne will not completely write off their campaign. Stay tuned to more news bulletin. It is still 20 degrees in Johannesburg, 29 in Lagos, and 22 degrees in Washington, D.C. Brand Live Sports, I'm Rose Ratach.
brandlive.co.za. Making a bold statement yet blending into the surrounding suburbs of Melville, 27 Boxes is a realization of edgy design and practical implementation. A radical departure from the shopping malls of our generation, yet not a return to the high streets of our youth. 27 Boxes showcases the best of a shopping centre set in a garden, surrounded by the bohemian suburb that is Melville. 27 Boxes, shop, play, eat.
Napinda futhi ngabono phethu professor ngizwila maheme bathi joluma mpintsha namuhla bheka sophethe Joseph's finest kathi ukhetha bani kathi uthanda bani kathi uphethe bani angitshela mama nobani kathi udiro bani professor bani mapintsho bani angitshela mama nobani ingachampaizis sifuna sonke klabini kahle kahle mflopisi uhlekisa ngami ejardini ubani uplay coffee awuphela mina ngazo oskid uzama ukwenzani sawuxabanisa abangani ngiyatira ngaphinda futhi ngakubona uphethe uprofessor ngizwile amahemhe bathi joluma mpintsha namuhla bheka sophethe Josie's finest kathi ukhetha abanye kathi uthanda abanye kathi uphethe abanye angelo mama nobani kathi tiro abanye professor abanye mapintsha abanye angelo mama nobani athi shaya ifosha Dabano Oskido, Dabano Black Cough, Conde, Dabano Tira, and Yambina, Exechonga, Dabano Prisgate.
Issa Matthews, I bring you one from him coming through right here on BrandLiveRadio.co.za with, Josie's finest, Uhamba Nobane. Quite an amazing jam. We're going to be seeing it playing throughout the entire of the festive season. We can't wait. We need more and more songs, right? I think there's a lot of songs that have been coming out, and we're just hoping that more songs will make a dance and not sleep at home because, that's going to be the order of the entire festive season. 38 after 2 Central African time. I did mention that I'm going to be having a chill and chat with international best-selling author. Her name is Busisiwe Mahoko. Hi, welcome to the Dramatic Talk.
Hey, how are you?
Great, thanks.
Hi.
There we go. You hear yourself now.
I can hear myself.
That's
now.
fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We're great, thank you. And thank you so much for coming through, right?
It's a pleasure.
Now, first and foremost, we need to know who, Busi Mahoko is.
I hate this question.
You hate this question?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do.
She's one shy person,
Yeah.
very shy, humble,
Yeah.
and I'll try to say. Let me try and say I'm a good person. I try
Stunning.
to be.
All right.
I think that just completely sums it up about me.
About yourself, right? Now you have you are an international best-selling author. How did that come about? Are you a writer? Because I understand you worked as a cashier at Pick and Pay and Clicks as well. So how did the whole writing thing come about? You hustled, right?
Yeah, no, but when you start working as a teen, or let me just say after being a teen, young adult, you enter Pick and Pay or start up as a cashier at Clicks. I didn't know Uguti writing was my calling.
Wow.
However, I always had a pen in my hand, and my cousin sister Ojab would say, when you should be right, and I'm like, balad.
What are you writing,
And then it came to a point, my writing came to a point where when I broke up with my ex, then I was like, oh, okay, let me just write a book.
Oh, wow.
And then that's where I started writing my first book. Now it's called Woman Get Your Power Back. And then along with that, I began writing a novel, My Other Lover.
Nice.
It started as stage play.
Really?
Yeah. And I taught myself how to write. Let me tell the truth. Even though I studied creative
writing, yes.
I didn't know what was that for. When your mom says, be a doctor.
Go and do something with your life. You can't be writing. What are you writing?
Yeah. And immediately when I started writing My Other Lover, I gave the pages to my big sister, my cousin sister Ojabe, and she's read them and is like, you're good. Your family will always tell you you're so good.
There's a lot of people that go to idols because their families told them they can sing.
And then you give it to Bongani Drama and it's like, hey, dude, this is crap. La lento. But I gave it to my friends.
Nice.
And I have honest friends.
Nice.
And they told me, dude, you should push this book. And I pushed it to a point where it got to being a trilogy now.
Nice.
Completing the third book.
Shucks.
It's on its 1000th page.
What?
And then Woman Get Your Power Back. It's a self-help autobiography.
Nice.
It's out. I think it's been 3 weeks. Since it's been out.
It's centered around your life more than anything. Now, my other lover resembles your first love, which is writing and love as a whole. Now, it contains all types of love that loves, that kills, and that builds as well. Wow, what is it about?
It's about everything that happens in a relationship. Everything that you need to know as a woman, as I won't point out men because I don't know about men, but I know about women. But in the book, you get to meet more than or over 30 characters.
Yeah.
Let me just say, plus minus 7 women that go through different sets of emotions.
Nice.
The kind of emotions that you are going to go through in one relationship.
Shucks.
You get to meet the other woman. You get to meet the main character becomes the other woman, and the other woman that gets to be the other woman. So you get to meet alpha males.
Nice.
Non-caring guys.
Non-caring guys, yes.
Yeah, non-caring guys. He's all that. He's hot. He's...
Shucks, eh?
Yeah.
What a thing. That's amazing. And now you are planning on releasing more books in 2018. 4 more.
Yeah.
When have you started writing these 4 books? If you want to release them next year.
I write along, let me just say, I don't sleep.
Okay.
I sleep at 2 a.m.
Shucks.
Wake up at 4, take care of my daughter because she's going to school, and then go at it and write. I take breaks in December, so December guys are Nico.
You are on holiday.
I'm on holiday.
Now, tell me the importance, because we were talking to someone as well last week that actually, online conversation, telephonic conversation, who also has a book. And I asked the same question as to, how important is it for South Africans to get themselves knowledgeable through books, basically?
Let me just say this. It's important to me as a writer or an author. It's important to write. Never stop writing. I never stop writing at all. You get used to it. The more you get used to it, the better you get to know how to.
Yeah.
Don't write one book and tell yourself that this is going to be the bestseller and then you're done. It's going to earn you money. Don't write for money. Write for what you enjoy. Tell the story.
Passion.
Yes.
That's great. And, with the rest of the world that want to get a hold of your books, where do they go?
Okay. Right now, I'm receiving a lot of offers from bookstores.
Nice.
It's going to be listed. So everybody can find me on Facebook as Bima, or my other lover page, or my Twitter page,
nice.
BCX3, LinkedIn as well. Others can... I'm skeptical, but about giving my number.
Please don't. Yeah, not on air. By all means. Yeah, but as long as they can find you on social media, they can try and DM you, then you can take it from there.
Yeah.
Or even your email address, if you can give them your email address.
Yeah, it's capital B for Bravo, USI, numbers 3690@gmail.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
and then
great.
Find me there. Right now, I'm just getting offers all over.
Nice.
Orders. So many orders. So, yeah, it's just hard to sleep.
Shucks.
Yeah, it's just hard to sleep. And I've recently gotten 3 more radio interviews.
Nice.
So, Jay, it's just
good.
overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, but it's good.
It's very
good,
good.
positive energy. Great, Busisiwe, thank you so much. And we hope to catch your books wherever we go and read them.
For you to catch my books.
We'll get them. That was Busisiwe, Mahoko folks, right here on The Dramatic Talk with myself, Bongani Drama. Her book is out, My Other Lover, and there's more that is out as well. You can find on all your social media platforms. It's, 2:03 before Fashion Fest. So on the other side of this, we do Fashion Fest. Stick around.
brandlive.co.za. You're listening to brandlive.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we are an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlive.co.za for more information. brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstylemedia.co.za.
14:36 on the Dramatic Talk with myself, Wangani Drama. Quite an amazing woman, Busisiwe Mahoko, right here on brandlive.co.za. 14:46, folks. Let's go straight to Fashion Fed.
Fashion Fed.
Yep, it is absolutely time for Fashion Fair. The first story coming through is introducing China's new luxury website. There's new the new name in online luxury as of yesterday. Top Life, owned by China's largest e-commerce company and a recent BF collaborator, JD.com. And it's an amazing website where you can actually go find out about what's happening, the latest in Chinese clothing or clothing around the world. Now, luxury brands understands that the entire retail game in China is online, but they've been late to enter. Now they've been waiting for a luxury branded site that can give the full experience of going into their offline stores, and that's what they've built. Said Xia Ding, the president of JD.com's fashion website. Working with Top Life, luxury brands are able to provide customers throughout China with a true luxury shopping experience. I think it's amazing that you have fashion that is going online. For me, that is amazing.
Absolutely. And it's much more interesting that it's Asian fashion.
Yeah, that's true. That's
looking
amazing.
forward to it, actually.
Looking forward to it. Now, Vintage Zionist announces partnership with Afropunk. When I saw this email, I was actually very excited. Now, Vintage Zionist is a local clothing brand that is based in downtown Johannesburg in a trendy arts area called the Maboneng Precinct. Oscar Ngube and Mandy Newman push the boundaries of fashion with their designs inspiring rock and roll music. Now, for their SA Fashion Week and collection, Vintage Zionist is collaborating with Afropunk. So it's going to be quite a stunning collaboration that, I'm actually very much excited to see. The collection is a monochromatic range with literally sets of canvas of doodled artworks and slogans applied onto the clothing for the very outspoken and opinionated Afro-punk off-center sort of a kid like yourself. Vintage SA Fashion Collection will be shown on the 27th of October at 9 p.m. at Sandton City Rooftop. So if you want to be there and if you want to see the partnership between Afro-punk and Vintage Zionist as well, so you can go there and see for yourself.
I think it's very fitting that Vintage Zionist actually is in partnership with Afropunk, because Afropunk is really about being open and what's the word? Slip of a tongue. There we go again.
Right.
But being open and being pro society, what's happening, and just
they follow
doing
trends.
Them doing it. I don't necessarily think though, but doing it through Afropunk is going to be great. It's fitting. It's fitting.
Nice.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be amazing. Yeah,
I'll see them there.
Alrighty. Oh, are you going there? You're gonna be around.
I am Afropunk. Did you see my badge?
Oh, nice. We can't wait for you to do the things that needs to be done.
Yes.
14:49, folks. It is 11 before 3 p.m. Before we wrap up the show, it is time for your news bulletins, your last news bulletins before we say goodbye to you with Rose Ratacha.
It's the headlines.
Durban storm death toll now at 8 may rise. The number of people who have died following heavy storms and flooding in KwaZulu-Natal on Tuesday has reached 8 and could rise. Provincial government departments said during a joint briefing. We can confirm that 8 people were killed as a result of the floods yesterday. There are those that are still missing, so it is possible that this may rise. Acting MEC for Cooperative Governance Sizwe Tusi told reporters during a briefing on Wednesday. Tusi and other MECs from the Health and Human Settlements departments as well as eThekwini municipality are currently assessing damage caused during Tuesday's storm, including the King Edward V and Prince Mshiyeni Memorial Hospitals in Durban. In Miami, Lourdes Rodriguez fled Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria filled her home in the northern town of Vega Baja with mud, ruining mattresses and other belongings. She thought it would be a short stay with her daughter in Florida, but 3 weeks later, there's still no power or water back home. We're going to be here indefinitely, the 59-year-old retiree said in an interview at the daughter's home in Tampa. It's been crazy, totally unexpected, like nothing I've ever experienced before. Tens of thousands of islanders left for the US mainland to escape the immediate aftermath of the storm. With conditions back at home still grim, about 85% of residents still lack electricity and 40% are without running water, and neither is expected to be fully restored for months. Many find themselves scrambling to build new lives away from the island. Particularly in states with large Puerto Rican populations such as New York, Illinois, Florida, and Connecticut, people are bunking with relatives while trying to find longer-term housing jobs and school for their kids. This is Brand Live News. I am Rose Ratacha. I'm having a lot of slip of the tongues, hey?
I know, and I think it's because of the Convo Corner today.
It's having an effect, but we're looking at Puerto Ricans.
Shucks.
And how Hurricane Maria has left them really distraught. But I'm glad. I was watching an interview, actually Ellen DeGeneres' show, where Ricky Martin was there, and he made a plea that anyone who wants to contribute to Puerto Rico at this point in time, because there are families who are still there and infrastructure is still bad, they can contribute. But his celebrity friends are also making an effort as well.
Yeah, a lot of celebrity people are making an effort, to make it a point that they go out there. But I know back here at home, I mean, Durban,
we have the
what
Durban
a disaster.
issues, and 8 have already been killed.
Shucks. What are celebrities doing? Is anyone doing anything about it?
Because our Beyoncés of South Africa playing part.
That's amazing. Because I really think they are too much thinking of the international people that are really going through disasters. But bring it back home and let's see what happens.
Let's try it. It's just next door. I mean,
it's just
Durban
around the corner.
Here, but we pray for those lives and we pray for the people in Puerto Rico as well.
Very true. Alrighty, Rose, thank you so much for those news bulletins. 14:53, folks, on Brand Live Radio. The Dramatic Talk with myself, Bongani Drama. On the other side of this, we wrap up the show. Stick around.
Brandlive.co.za. You're listening to Brandlive.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we are an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlive.co.za for more information. Brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio.
Alrighty, MCZ World playing right there in the background, and that one is, an amazing song that we're going to be playing out with. 14:54 Central African Time on Brand Live Radio. If you just streamed in, folks, this is the Dramatic Talk with myself, Bongani Drama. We're saying goodbye to you, and thank you so much for streaming in. If you have been streaming in, and if you just streamed in, also thank you so much. We had a lot to talk about right here on the show. It is the Gateway, and we're saying goodbye to you. On the Convo Corner, we're talking about forgetting people's names. Do you have that? Does it affect you? Is anyone affected by it? Because I understand that you are having a slip of a tongue now, Rose, and I don't know if that's one of the dementias that you go through.
I think I might have dementia. Hey, I think I might. You're not the sick one. I am.
I know. I think I do too. I mean, there's a lot of comments coming through on Facebook with Jana Vandenberg saying yes, law. I do forget their names, but I remember their faces. Remember what we said, right? That you would remember their names but forget their faces. Remember their faces but forget their names. Londi Wesiwela says that I suck at memorizing names. Nontsigelelo Nkugza Ella, forget their names, she mentions. And L Trump fan says I forget everything. So she forgets. She's like myself.
Hectic stuff.
I forget as well. It's such a forgettable thing that happens. Now on Dramatainment, we look at Cindy Dlatu taking a hiatus on Mubango, and we're looking at Reese Witherspoon's daughter, who's gonna be a debutante. It's gonna be a debutante, which is quite a thing for me. On Fashion Fair, we looked at introducing China's new luxury website, and we also looked at Vintage Zionist announcing a partnership with Afropunk as well. Folks, that has been a show, and we also had to change it with Busisiwe Mahuku, who's an international best-selling author, and has got amazing books published, including My Other Lover, that I just got for myself. I'm so happy I got a copy, and it's a signed copy, so I'm going to be reading it. I can't wait to read it by all means. At 14:56, 6 Central African Time on BrandLiveRadio.co.za. Rose, thank you so much. Let's do it again next week.
Absolutely. See you next week.
See you next week. The name is Bongani Drama. Keep it, know it, and never forget it. Another episode of The Dramatic Talk, signed, sealed, and delivered. Have an amazing one, folks. To God be the glory. Bye-bye.
Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh Chide, I come, baby, oh nothing, nothing. I don't want pico, baby, oh nothing, nothing. Oh Chide, I come, baby, oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh Chide, I come, baby, oh nothing, nothing. I don't want pico, baby, oh nothing, nothing. Oh Chide, I come, baby, oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh baby, give me all or nothing, yeah. Oh nothing, nothing. Oh Chide, I come, baby, oh nothing, nothing. I don't want pico, baby.
It's time to buckle up.
Now, this is Bongani Drama.